Okay, I think it worked this time. Okay, it worked. Huh. Technical difficulties on this thing, man. Now we gotta reshare this link. Okay, got this thing figured out now. All right, let's make sure we got this thing working. No. All right, all right. All right. All right, we're late. We're a little late. This is my first time going live on here, so I haven't figured all of this out yet, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. All right, cool. We got some people joining. All right, I think we got this thing working out. I think we figured this thing out. I need to check and make sure that we're working correctly, and if we are, then I can start posting this. We should be good now. All right. It looks like we're good. Let's get this. I need to resend out the link because the first link I sent out didn't work. We had some technical difficulties, so give me 1 second. While I do that, send a message in the chat if y'all can see and hear me okay. Y'all should be able to. Somebody say something in the chat for me, though. Somebody message the chat for me. Let me know that we're good. We're good. Musa J. Musa J. High yields and dividends. All right. So while I'm getting this link sent out and making sure that we're good, I'm going to answer some questions. Not questions from the chat, but questions that I know are going to be asked that haven't been asked yet. Because I know what y'all are going to ask. So, question number one. Are we going to, well, before we even do that, as you can see, this is my first stream, right? Checking in from Columbus. Yeah, so this is my first stream. This is something that I've been saying I was going to do for a little while. I was putting it off. But we're here now. We're live. So, question number one. are we gonna live trade on here? Yes, we will be doing some live trading. This is my first stream, obviously, and I don't have this all figured out quite yet. So I didn't want to live stream from my first stream, or sorry, I didn't want to live trade from my first stream because I barely even know how to work all this yet. But I'm a fast learner, so just give me some time and we'll get there. All right. Question number 2. Am I going to be bigger than Castanet? I don't know. It's a little early to tell. I'm going to show up and I'm going to do my best and we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Question number 3. Am I going to do the, what do you call them? The IRL streams, the in real life streams, where I guess you like day in the life, but it's live. It's a live stream. I don't know. I'm a firm believer in not everything is meant to be content, and I see people, I see people do these like 24-hour streams or 48-hour streams. I just saw a story. Is this girl, and she's been live streaming every day for the past like 2 years, like 2-3 years, something like that, something crazy. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Like you film your entire life. Like people film themselves sleeping on stream and then they get up and then go about. I'm not doing that. I'll let you know right now. I'm not doing that. And if you want me to do that, I might block you, because if you want to watch me sleep, then I think you're a little weird, and I don't want you on my channel. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not against doing like day in the life streams or the IRL streams. The thing is, like, my life is actually pretty boring though. Like my average day in the life is pretty boring. And then it's mostly the same too. Like once you've seen one day, you've seen them all. Like I'm usually either at home or in my office or at the gym. So yeah, speaking of the office, that is something that people have asked me about. So if you guys don't know, around this time last year, about a year ago, I got a high-rise office to run my companies out of. So it's nice. It's right in the middle of the city. Y'all might have seen it on my Instagram. And it looks really nice on the inside. I posted a little bit. I haven't posted a lot of content in the office. And really, the main reason for that, I really shouldn't even say it. I'm like 7 minutes into my first stream, and I'm already going to say something that I shouldn't be saying, but whatever. I'll explain it like this. A hypothetical scenario, right? So say imagine hypothetically you're running a tech company and you get yourself a nice office, right? Because you're starting to grow a little bit, and it's a good place for your team to work at. And you've been able to attract some very talented, very intelligent people who want to work at that tech company, right? Now, those people also, because they're very talented, very intelligent, they also have jobs at some of the biggest companies on the planet, right? Very large companies. And it's not uncommon for people who work tech jobs at large corporations to also end up working on the side on like some kind of startup or some kind of app or some kind of project, or they're doing something outside of work, right, that they want to build. That's normal. That happens. However, there's kind of like a gray area, where it's like, okay, well, are they allowed to work on this and still keep their job? Is it legal for them to work on this and still keep their job? And, it can get messy. So in this hypothetical scenario, if you had some of those people working at your company, out of protection for your team members, you're not going to be in there filming and streaming and putting everything on the internet. You know what I mean? So, yeah, hypothetical. So hypothetically, you wouldn't do that. But we'll leave it at that. So, yeah, I am going to stream. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of stuff at the office. We're going to live trade on here some. We're going to talk about the markets. We're going to do all that. I don't really have a topic for this stream. I was going to call it something, but you can see it's just called My First Stream, because I just wanted to do it, right? And this is something I've been planning to do that I've been putting off for a while. I haven't done it, and we'll talk about why. But yeah, I mean, I see people also like they stream. I saw this guy. He streamed like a date, and he was on a date with the girl, and they like streamed a date, like stuff like that. I don't see myself doing. Um, I've never really made my dating life public. Not saying that I won't. Um, but yeah, I did start dating again recently. That was something that I used to not do. Well, not that I used to not do, but I had stopped doing. But I did start dating again recently. I don't plan on streaming it. Um, but I am on a nice run right now, man. You know, they say they can't all be tens, but these last few, man, I'm on a nice run. What would I stream? I did go to Mexico recently. Like I took a trip. I would have streamed that. Like I would stream while like I'm on a vacation or something, because that's interesting. It's different. Um, and I don't take like a crazy amount of trips because I'm not one of those people that like makes traveling my personality or like I don't know, is obsessed with traveling. I think it's good. I think it's important to travel, get new experiences. But like I see a lot of people, they use traveling as a form of escapism, and I think to me, those people are like crackheads. I view those people literally the same way I view crackheads. I'm going to explain. So, like, say you wake up and you hate your life, right? You hate where you live, you hate what you drive, you hate where you work, you hate the people that you see and have to interact with. You just hate everything about your life and it's miserable. And then you take a vacation and now you're happy because it's a new place, it's a new environment, and you're happy and it's all this stuff, right? And then a couple days later, you come back home and you're back to being miserable. I call those people crackheads because to me that's no different than a crackhead hating their life, but then they get high and they forget all their problems and everything's great and they feel good, then they come down and they're back miserable again. So I don't use traveling as a form of escapism, which is why I don't really travel like a crazy amount. Like I actually enjoy my life, my regular life. Um, and I think if you don't enjoy your regular life, any form of escapism isn't good for you. You should work on changing your regular life to make it to where you do enjoy it, right? Improve your life. And I say your life is in, you know, like where you sleep, where you go to work, all of that stuff. Because people say, oh well, I like my life because I travel sometimes. Like you sitting on a beach drinking margaritas, that's not your life. That's something that you might do every now and then, but it's not your life. So if you hate your life, you should work on improving your life. Um, Roderick said, want to invest in the company because I know one day it will go through the roof. What company, Roderick? Yeah, Roderick. What company? Anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I've been wanting to stream for a while. This was something that I was planning on doing. I didn't do it, and I'm going to tell you why. So some of you know this. If you've been following me on Instagram, then you know this. Around the end of last year, my Instagram account got disabled, wrongfully disabled. I didn't break any rules. I didn't have any violations. It was wrongfully disabled. And actually, what happened was I was doing extremely well on Instagram organically. I was getting millions of views, right? With only like 45,000 followers. And some of you are going to say only 45,000. But yeah, when you're getting millions of views and you only have 45,000 followers, then yeah, that's impressive, right? And I was spending zero money on ads. I wasn't doing any ad spend. That was all organic. Now on Instagram Meta's side, that's a red flag because you're not supposed to be getting that many organic views without paying. That's why like your content is never going to reach all of your followers. If you want more reach, you have to buy ads. You have to pay for ads. They want you to pay. You have to pay to get eyes. You might go viral, you know, every now and then, but you're not supposed to consistently be getting that kind of views with zero money spent on ads. But I was doing it. So on Meta's end, they see that and that's a red flag for them, right? That's a red flag on your account. They're gonna say, well, he can't just be getting all of these views because he's posting interesting and insightful content that people want to see. He must be doing something. So we're gonna look into his account. And I wasn't breaking any rules. Like I said, the only thing I did do was I had some the automations turned on. So like when someone would comment on my post, it would automatically post a response to their comment from my account. And that does help boost engagement, you know, a little bit. So that played a part in it. But that's not against the rules. I was using ManyChat, which is a partner of Meta. So I'm completely allowed to do that, right? The problem is when they look at your accounts, it's not an actual human being that sits there and looks at your account. they have AI. It's AI that does all of that. They look at your account and determine whether you've broken any rules or not. And I get why they use AI, because there's billions of people that use Instagram. They can't have an actual human sit there and look at all these accounts. So I get it. But the AI isn't perfect. I mean, humans aren't perfect either. But you get what I'm saying, right? If an actual human had sat there and looked at my account, they would have said, okay, he's not breaking any rules. He's actually just posting really good content. People are liking it. But the AI looked at my account and determined that I was somehow breaking a rule, and they disabled my account, right? This was, I want to say, November of last year, right? So I didn't have my Instagram account. And I started reaching out to support, and I was going back and forth with support for days, and those days turned into weeks. The week turned into like a month. So I was like, this is not going anywhere. I'm not getting any answers. So that's when I said I want to start live streaming. I'm gonna live stream on YouTube because I'm not on Instagram right now. People don't know what happened. They don't know if I quit Instagram. They don't know, like, and I've got audiences on Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, of course, but like my main audience, my core audience, my biggest audience is on Instagram. So they weren't seeing me. So I said, I gotta, go out there somewhere just to connect with my people. But before I did that, or before I started streaming, right, I said I got one more move I'm gonna make, because going back and forth with Instagram support is not doing anything. So I said, let me try something else. So what I did, I wrote a demand letter. And I sent it to Meta. I sent it directly to Meta, to the headquarters. I sent it right to Mark. And in my demand letter, I said, my account was wrongfully disabled. I want my account back. Not only do I want my account back, I also want assurances that this will not happen to me in the future, because there's no point in getting my account back if you're just going to disable it again 2 days later, right? Now, while I didn't have my Instagram account, I had joined some Reddit forums, some Reddit groups, and there were other people talking about how, they got their accounts deleted, and they're creators and they're business owners who have thousands of followers who use Instagram as a main source of income for their business. So I included them in it too. I said, I want my account back because it was wrongfully disabled, and I want assurances that this isn't going to happen to me or anybody else in the future, because I'm a man of the people. So I said, I'm going to speak for the people. I'm going to tell Meta, I'm going to tell Mark, you need to give everybody their accounts back, and you need to stop this from happening, because it's not right. You have 14 days to comply, otherwise I'll see you in court. That was a demand letter that I sent in December, right around the end of December. And this is documented, right? This is documented, because some of y'all aren't going to believe this, but I have the demand letter, I have the dates, this is all documented. Then 1 week later, right? So 7 days into the 14-day period before I say, I'll see you in court, I get an email from Meta. They've given me my account back, right? I get my account back. They say, hey, we reviewed your account. Turns out you haven't broken any rules. Here's your account back. Cool. That was 7 days into the 14-day period, remember. Now, this was on January the 3rd. I got my account back on January the 3rd. And remember, job's not finished. I got my account back, but I don't know if it's going to get disabled again tomorrow or the next week or the next month, because I didn't get my assurances. I was part of the demand letter. So I said, okay, well, they have a few days left to give me my assurances. They've partially completed my demand. So at least, I can see that they're working on it. So I'll give them, they have another week to give me my assurances. And I can't make this up. And some of you guys might think I'm making this up. Like I said, this is documented. I don't know exactly how to pull stuff up on here on YouTube. Like screenshots. I don't even know if I can share my screen, but if I need to, I will. I'll figure it out. But like I said, on January 3rd, I got my account back. At that point, they have seven days to give me my assurances that this doesn't happen to me or anybody else. And I promise you, you can go look on January the 7th, 5 days after that, Mark Zuckerberg himself posted a video to Instagram. You guys can look at it. It's still on his page. He posted a video to Instagram. Like, this was 2 days before they had to give me my assurances that this won't happen to me or anybody else. Zuckerberg goes on Instagram. He makes a post. It's just him talking, sitting at the desk talking. He says, hey, guys, I realize now that Instagram has been a little too strict. We've been wrongfully deleting accounts because of our AI. We have to use AI to monitor these things. However, the AI has been a little bit too strict, so we're gonna kind of make it a little more relaxed. I forget the terminology he uses. It's on his Instagram. I might pull it up. But some of y'all might have seen this. And he said basically that they're not going to be as strict when it comes to disabling accounts because a lot of creators are getting their accounts wrongfully disabled, and he wants to stop that from happening. He said that the downside from that is going to be that there are going to be people who do break the rules, who do violate the rules, who should be disabled, that don't. Like, they're going to slip through the cracks. He said, but that's okay because overall, this is going to stop a lot of creators from getting their accounts wrongfully disabled. And he posted that video 2 days before he had to give me my account back or it was going to be war. So with that being said, I saved free speech on Meta, on Instagram. It was me. I haven't talked about it. I haven't really bragged about it. You know, I do things for the people. I don't do it for the glory, for the recognition, but it needs to be said. I'm the one that saved free speech on Meta. So if you're a creator and you had your account deleted or wrongfully disabled and you got it back, you're welcome. That was me. That was me. I was ready to go to war with Mark. For all of you guys, I was ready to go to war. Any form of war. He could have seen me in court. He could have seen me in the cage. I know he likes to fight. I can get in the cage with him, whatever it takes, man, because I'm a man of the people. I was prepared to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a true story. If you don't believe me, it's all documented, man. I'm happy to share. But anyway, I saw that to say, yeah, I was planning on YouTube streaming, but then I got my Instagram account back. And so I just kind of put streaming off to the side. I just kept saying, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. And then I never did it. But I posted a video today on Instagram. And I said that a lot of you guys have been telling yourself that you're going to do things and you keep lying to yourself. You say, I'm going to do it later. I'm going to do it later. And you haven't actually done it. So I said, my message to you is today, not tomorrow, today, do the thing that you've been saying that you're going to do that you never even started. So for me, that's streaming. So I said, you know what, I'm going to start streaming, but you know, maybe I need to get some equipment or have some things to talk about or whatever. And I said, you know what, I don't need to do any of that. I need to sit down and I need to turn on the camera and I need to talk. So that's what I'm doing. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So we're on here, we're live streaming, and yeah, let me go in the chat. Donna said that's right. David shot the right king of Rock Alive. I'm telling you, man, I was gonna go to war with Meta for y'all. It would have been an uphill battle, but I would have fought because at that point it was bigger than me. Like, yeah, do I use Instagram for my businesses? Of course. However, the way my businesses are structured, without Instagram, they're gonna be okay. Still gonna do well. But a lot of people don't have that luxury. So it wasn't even about me. It was about the people. You know, I did that for the people. And a lot of people say, oh, well, Instagram is now trying to be like X. They say Elon Musk must have got to Zuckerberg. No. JT got to Zuckerberg. JT saved free speech on Meta. You're welcome. True story. Yeah. Now, I will say, while I was off Instagram, I wasn't really using any other social media. I was on X a little bit, not much. I wasn't really on TikTok. I never really liked being on TikTok. So for the most part, I was off social media. I was still in my Discord community, which Discord is technically a social media, if you want to call it that. So I was on Discord, but other than that, I wasn't really on socials at all. And so getting back on Instagram earlier this year, it kind of reminded me, I'm not going to say discovered because it's not a new discovery. I already knew this. But when you get off social media, you kind of forget. But getting back on there reminded me that there's a lot of dumb people on the internet. There's a lot of dumb people on Instagram. And it was like, as soon as I got back on there, I was instantly reminded of that, right? Now, I'm not talking about you guys, right? Because you guys are on my stream. So that's a sign of intelligence. So you guys are smart. But there are a lot of dumb people on Instagram. However, a lot of those dumb people make a ton of money. They make a ton of money. They're rich. And they make more money than you. But you're smarter than them. They're dumb. You're smart. And they make more money. And the reason is, a lot of you guys are too smart to make a lot of money. You're too smart for your own good. Because it's stopping you from making a lot of money, right? And high intelligence is often correlated to rationality, right? But in order to get rich, sometimes you have to do the irrational thing. You have to do the dumb thing, right? Um, and there's some examples of this, and I think that honestly, I think Elon Musk might be one of the better examples of this. And people don't like him for his politics and whatever, and that's fine. But he is a really good example of what I'm talking about, because at one point he helped create a company called PayPal, and then PayPal was sold, and he walked away with $100 million. Now, most people, you get $100 million, you're gonna buy a yacht, you're gonna chill on the beach, chill in the mansion, whatever. He took $100 million and reinvested all of it, and most of it went into a company called SpaceX. And the reason why he had to invest pretty much all of that into SpaceX is because nobody else would invest in it, because they said they're going to build rocket ships, and that sounded crazy. So all the smart VCs in Silicon Valley, that sounded crazy, right? It was dumb. It was a dumb idea. You're just a guy and you're going to build rocket ships. So we're not going to give you any money for that. And then fast forward, they're building reusable rocket ships, and now the company's worth what, like 300 billion, 400, or sorry, 300 million, 400 million, something crazy like that, right? But at the time, it was dumb. So it's always dumb until it works, right? And I'll give you another example. I'll give you one more example. So say there's this guy, right? And he just graduates high school and he goes to college, and he's working, and he's in school, but he wants to learn how to trade. He says, I can do better. So he starts learning how to trade, and he starts trading, and then he goes through the normal process of a beginner trader, which means there's ups and downs. He's making money, he's losing money, right? But then eventually he gets the hang of it, and he starts doing pretty well, and he starts making some decent money. And at that point, it's more money than he's making from his job. So he quits the job. Now, when he quits that job, people, they say he's dumb. They say, well, just because you made a couple bucks and you got lucky and now you think you're a trader, and that's dumb. You should keep your job at stable income and blah, 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 right? So that's dumb thing number one that he does, right? Then he says, I'm going to start a company. As he continues to get better with trading, he says, let me start a company that's built around trading. Some of y'all might know where I'm going with this. But he starts a company that's based around trading, right? That's the number two dumb thing that he does, because now all the smart people say, oh, well, you don't know anything about running a company, and you don't know how to manage, you don't know how to market. What qualifications do you have? Blah, 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 right? But then this company does well, and the company starts growing, and it's a success. So now he's an entrepreneur, a trader, and a college student. And he says, I'm in college to learn how to make money, but I'm already making money. So why am I even in school? So he decides to leave school. That's when they really let him have it. They say, oh, you think you can drop out of college, and that's the dumbest thing you've ever done. Now most businesses don't make it, and you block, all, and it's dumb. It's dumb, right? But fast forward, he gets even better at trading. Business grows even more, becomes a very big success. And years go by, and it turns out it wasn't a dumb decision, right? Because he's effectively made it at that point. And it gets to a point where he says, this is getting too easy. I want a challenge. I want a challenge again. I missed the challenge. Where is the challenge? Life is a little too easy. So he says, you know what I'm going to do? I'll start another company. Let's start a second company. And this company is still somewhat within his area of expertise, but it involves a lot of things that he hasn't done before. He's not familiar with, right? It's very much a new experience, a new journey, right? And it's very expensive. It's going to cost a lot of money to create something and do something that he doesn't technically know how to do, right? But he does it anyway, because he says, like I said, I want a challenge. So he said, I want a challenge. So he does this thing. And that's another dumb thing he did, right? Because now all the smart people say, well, you might have did well with your first company, but that's just because you got lucky or because you were at the right place, right time. You can't do that again. You shouldn't do it. And you're going to spend all this money trying to start another company. And that's dumb and all of this stuff, right? It's dumb. They let him have it again. But then that company ends up doing well too. So now he's got 2 successful companies and he's a successful trader. Even though every step along the way, all of the smart people that said, I would never do that, and I don't think you should do that, they called him dumb because he was dumb. He made the dumb decision over and over and over and over. And every single time it worked out, right? So what I'm trying to say is it's always going to be dumb until it works, right? You take $100 million and you say, I'm going to build rocket ships. It's a dumb decision, but then it works. And now you're not dumb. Now you're Elon Musk. And if you just say you're going to drop out of college and become a trader and a serial entrepreneur, it's a dumb decision until it works. Then once it works, you're not dumb anymore. Now you're JT. Now you're JT. You see what I did there? You see what I'm saying? So yeah. I'll give you another example. Say there's this guy who graduates from a very fancy school and he's got a degree in finance, right? So he's got his finance degree, so he knows some about the market, right? So he decides to start investing. So he invests, he's got some funds, maybe some individual stocks, nothing too risky, because he's a smart guy. Smart people don't tend to take huge risks. Taking huge risks is for dumb people. This is a smart guy. And he does well. He makes 50% in a year. In his first year investing, he does 50%. That's a good year. Most people can't make a fraction of that. Now, say there's another guy. He starts investing. He doesn't have a college degree. He didn't go to college at all. But he starts investing too. And he starts investing in meme coins. And he buys Fartcoin. And he buys Doge. And he buys all this other stuff. And he makes 3,000% in a year. So person A, college educated, 50% in a year, right? 50% ROI from investing. Person B, not college educated, meme coin investor, makes 3,000% in a year. Now I'm going to ask you in the chat, I'm going to ask you guys, which one of those people is smarter? The person with the degree who made 50% in a year, or the person who was investing in meme coins and made 3,000%? Which one of those people is smarter? Y'all let me know in the chat. Person A or person B? Y'all don't want to use that chat, I see. There's people in here. I get it. Y'all don't want to answer, that's fine. But I'm going to tell you this. If you think person A, right, well, he's got the degree and he did go to college, so he probably is still smarter, even though he didn't make as much return. You might be right. However, in the real world, at the highest levels of all of this, context doesn't really matter that much, right? What matters is the results that you achieve. The path that you take to get those results is less important than the results themselves, right? So really, if you didn't have context, and I would say, hey, you have 2 options you can work with as far as someone to invest with, right? This person made 50% last year. This person made 3,000%. Which person are you going to pick? In that case, without the context, looking purely at results, most people are going to take person B, right? Now, you might even still say, well, person B just got lucky, right? He just got lucky. He got lucky. Okay, you might be right. And let me plug in some more context. So say person A, college educated guy, he spends 6 hours a day at class. He spent 6 hours a day in his classes, right? Person B, meme coin investor, he spent 12 hours a day researching these coins, researching the space on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitter, looking for the next opportunity, right? So person B actually put in more work. He put in more hours. So even if person A is smarter, if you want to call him that, person B put in more work. He outworked him, right? That's another factor that goes into it. You don't need to be smart. A lot of these dumb people that are making a lot of money, they're not smart. They're just outworking all the smart people. They're working harder. They're putting in more hours and they're getting better results. And at the end of the day, results is what matters. It doesn't matter if you went to this school and you have this degree and you read these books. What results have you gotten from that? What has been the outcome? What are the achievements that you've been able to get? That's what matters in the real world. So that's why I say a lot of people are too smart for their own good. And they're too smart to make money. Because when it comes to making money, making a lot of money, you do have to do the irrational thing. You have to be irrational. And a lot of you guys subscribe to my channel, so I'm sure you're at least somewhat interested in trading or business or something like that, right? Now, that alone, trying to be a trader, trying to be a business owner, entrepreneur, like that alone is irrational. When you look at the statistics and you look at the number of traders that succeed versus ones that fail, you look at the number of business owners that succeed versus the ones that fail. It's dumb to try those things. It's dumb to try either one of those things, right? You have to think irrationally to even do that. And all the smart people, some of you guys have probably experienced this before. You go and tell someone, hey, I'm going to be a trader. That's my ambition. That's something that I want to do. I want to be a trader. And there, a lot of times they'll say, and they'll say it even condescendingly, like, "Oh, well, I would never do that. Like, I would never do that. That doesn't," because they think they're so smart, right? So they think I'm so smart, I would never trade. I would never start a business because they look at the statistics and they look at all of that and they talk themselves out of opportunity. That's what smart people do. It's actually a fact that the people who earn the highest amounts of money typically fall within the IQ range of 110 to 130. So that's above average, right? That's considered high intelligence, but you're not like genius intelligence. You're not like the top 1%. So you have above average intelligence, but you're not too smart. And part of the reasoning is people who are extremely smart, some of the smartest people in the world, they don't take many risks. They avoid risk because that's the smart thing to do, right? Taking risk is not a smart thing to do, right? So they avoid taking risks. They also don't have great social skills a lot of the time, so they're not fit out to be a leader or entrepreneur. But that 110 to 130 IQ range, that's where the highest earners are. That's where most of the entrepreneurs are. That's where the people who have great leadership skills are. I just took an IQ test recently. I'm 120, right? So I'm like right in the middle of that range. I was actually hoping I'd be 130. I don't know. I'm going to try to take it again eventually. But yeah, so I was 120 IQ. So I fall right in the middle of that range, right? And I can definitely agree that, I do take risk, man. I take risk because I believe that's the path to really making a lot of money. And I feel like I've been saying a lot of money multiple times. So I just want to clarify. Like when I say a lot of money, because it's different. You ask different people what a lot of money is, you'll get different answers. But when I say a lot of money, my number for a lot of money is $360,000 per year. 360K per year is a lot of money. I'm not talking about making 7 figures in a year, all that. That's great. But if you're making 360,000, you're making a lot of money. And we can break that down, right? Because if you ask most people, do you think you can make 360K in a year? Most of them will say no. Most of them will say no. But you got to break it down, right? So, okay, what is 360K a year? Well, it's 30K a month. Can you make 30K a month? I don't know. That's still a lot. That's still a lot, right? You say, okay, can you make $1,000 per day? Can you make 1K per day? That's what that breaks down to. Can you make $1,000 per day? When you ask people that, that's when the wheels actually start turning. They say, well, there was that one time I made $1,000 in a day. Okay, well, what did you do? Is it something that you can repeat? Is it a repeatable process? Can you see yourself doing it again? Well, yeah, maybe if I and the wheels will start turning, right? So you got to break those bigger numbers down, right? Whether your goal is to make $1 million in a year, or $500,000, or 10 million, whatever, you got to break it down, right? So that 360K number is a lot of money, in my opinion. And when you break it down, it's 1K per day, right? Now, the reason I say that's a lot of money is because you're not really limited to the type of lifestyle that you can live if you're making 1K per day. You can do almost anything. You can't buy like a crazy private jet or a crazy private yacht. But you can do almost anything, right? Say if you're making 1K per day, 30K per month, we'll call it. You're making 30K per month. Say you want to live like a baller, and you want to get a penthouse in Miami or Atlanta or wherever the ballers live these days, right? You get a baller penthouse, high rise, whatever, and you're paying 5K per month in rent for your baller penthouse, right? So 5K goes to rent, but you need to drive. You need to get around town, but you're a baller. So you want to get a Lamborghini. I know a buddy of mine, he has a Huracan. It's a starter Lamborghini. It's a Lamborghini. He pays 2K per month for the payment for that. It's $2,000 per month. So between transportation and housing, you're paying $7,000 out of your 30K per month. But you got to eat, and you're a baller. So say you spend what, $100 a day on food? Okay, so what's that? 3K per month. So now between food, housing, transportation, you're spending $10,000 per month out of your 30K per month. That's a third of your income, right? That's only a third of your income. That's what I'm trying to make you guys understand how much 1K a day really is. You can spend a third of your income on a penthouse, on a Lamborghini, and on $100 meals every single day. And you still got 20K per month coming in, right? And I get it. Like, oh, well, what about utilities and car insurance? Like, these are rough numbers. Just work with me. Just work with me. Even if you want to travel, you want to spend $5,000 per month on vacation, whatever, because you're one of those people who travels as a form of escapism. That's still half your income, right? You still have 15K. So let's not even call it travel. We'll call it, like, I don't know, lifestyle. Because you gotta, what do ballers do? You gotta go to the club, you gotta pop bottles, and I don't know. I don't know what else ballers do. Y'all can help me out, but you get the idea, right? 1K per day, 30K per month, 360K per year. It's a lot of money, and that's what I mean when I say making a lot of money. And to make that kind of money, you do have to take risk. You have to take calculated risk. You have to take the kind of risk that people are going to call you dumb for taking. You know what I mean? It's a part of it. So, yeah, I didn't really have much else to say, man. I just kind of said what was on my mind for the day. Like I said I needed to stream today. And not just today. I'm going to continue to stream, continue to show up, because this is something that, again, I've been wanting to do. I've been needing to do, but I've been putting off. I said today, I told people, whatever the thing that you've been doing, or the thing that you've been saying you need to do, you need to start doing it today. For me, that was streaming. So I'm here on stream. I'll be back on stream. I need to figure out how I can effectively live trade on here. I guess I can, I'll figure that out. Because we will live trade. We will maybe do some, I don't know, IRL streams. We'll figure it out. But for now, I just wanted to get on here. I wanted to talk to y'all, and I wanted to show y'all that I'm putting my money where my mouth is. So if you came, if you watched, I appreciate you. And we'll be back soon. All right.